Good afternoon or evening, I should say. I can't talk today. I'm tongue-tied.
Depends on when you're watching.
This is another episode of the Gen X Talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, JB, and directly to my left is Mike.
What's going on?
And to my right directly is Jab.
What's going on?
And today, we want to thank you first off for watching, and we're going to talk about Richmond, north of Richmond, that song that's just going viral.
You've been saying it wrong
The whole
all
time.
day.
Tell me how to say it.
Rich man,
Rich man?
north of Richmond.
Oh, I thought it was rich men north of Richmond.
Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
It just
That's a
depends on
fucking
your
time.
accent.
Okay, you know what
The big
We're
black
talking about
lady, the big
rich
black bear.
men and people that are north of Richmond, Virginia, Washington, D.C.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. They got it now.
You know, I'm sorry. I know, but that flag, the eagle. Look, this is Mr. Eagle over here, green.
We say we're not talking about that.
I'm sorry, but okay, we're not
People
going to
are
talk about
struggling.
it. But if you haven't noticed, there's a big eagle behind my man over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why such a big Cowboys fan loves an eagle flag.
Look at that shit. See, I'm not even going to comment.
What do we got on Let's Eat today?
Man, let's see. We're talking about an ex-Cowboy.
Yeah.
Coach Prime. And then a little bit later, at the same time, we're going to talk about, Krayzie Bone, his situation. But Coach Prime is the hottest thing right now in sports. What y'all think?
Oh, definitely.
Well, let's say
Hey,
this.
he's pretty warm.
He started off 2-0, and he beat our local team, TCU.
And I'm still mad
The
about
Colorado
that one.
Buffaloes defeated TCU. And I think everybody just switched over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my social media was so hot last year. TCU fans, and go TCU. And then Colorado came through here and just kicked their ass. And
Yeah.
people were cheering for Colorado and Prime. It's the same exact people.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm still riding with TCU. I'm still Fort Worth.
Well, that's good for you, but there's a lot of people with Prime. Now, this is the big thing. He's been talking cash shit. He's been real cocky, and he's been backing it up for the most part. Y'all think?
Yeah.
And he was questioned one day, and they said, "Hey, who do you think's the best coach in college?" And this dude said, "Hey, give me a mirror so I can look at him." that was probably the best thing. But anyway, they got their ass whooped last week.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, 42-16 against Oregon.
Oregon, yeah.
And a lot of people jumping ship. A lot of people are now talking about them and saying they're not really, on the level of these big colleges. And I'm not just a big college fan, but I do understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they only won one game last year. They were 1-11.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the talk is that they've done a lot better than what was expected. But me as a fan of football, I don't really know what was expected besides to win.
Just win. And the thing is, you know what it is? People love a hero story.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see the underdog win.
Right.
And that's what Colorado, the Buffaloes, that's what they are. They're underdogs. And then here you have Coach Dion Primetime coming in there, motivating the shit out of the troops, winning some damn games.
He sure did.
And not to mention, I will side note say he's $26 or so million he's getting paid.
Oh, yeah, he's getting a lot of them. And I think they had like 60 scholarships. So this is not like some handicap. This is not, like the movies when you take the team that they didn't have a coach and the kids were the, the throwbacks. He actually has some of the best players that, the top draft picks or whatever, top recruits. I think that's the correct word. Yeah. So.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. So if y'all decide y'all want to call in or say something about him, we'll accept that. And then our next big thing, let's see this old Krayzie Bone.
Yeah,
Let Mike
man.
talk about
If you're like me, you grew up in the 90s listening to hip hop and rap, then you are familiar with Bone Thugs and Harmony, and you know that today has not been a very good day. This whole week has not been a very good week. Anthony Henderson, a.k.a. Krayzie Bone, was admitted to the hospital last Friday, and now he's fighting for his life. Apparently, he has a disease called sarcoidosis, which is an inflammatory disease where your immune system will start overreacting, and it'll cause groups of cells to clump together inside your lungs, your heart, and it can cause a whole bunch of problems.
Damn.
That sounds serious.
And there's not really a cure for it, but most of the time, it's not that bad, and it eventually goes away on its own. But there are cases where it becomes severe and potentially life-threatening.
My word.
Oh, man.
Man, I hope he's all right. Shit.
Yeah, it's actually a very rare disease. You see maybe 200,000 cases a year, and It's actually mostly affects women. But like I said, they can't cure it, but they can treat it. And for most people, it just goes away on its own. But unfortunately, his case looks like it's going to be a lot more severe.
Yeah, man. That's got me. When he goes to talk about cells and immune system.
That shit can't get
that sounds like that other stuff we were talking about. That ninja.
Yeah. Motherfucker needs an immunity shake.
I can't even joke about it.
Get that green plant protein in your ass. That ain't no joke. I'm just saying.
God.
Right. And just on Krayzie Bone himself, man, I think most people know of Bone Thugs and Harmony because of their big Grammy-winning hit back in the day, The Crossroads. But the song that really put them on the map was a song called Flow Motion.
Oh, yeah?
And Krayzie Bone had one of the dirtiest verses I've ever heard any rapper drop. In fact, he when they first were trying to get signed, he talked to Eazy-E on the phone, and it was that verse that he laid down, and that's the verse that got them signed.
No shit. Are you gonna
Easy
tell us what it is, or
no? There's no way I can do that verse.
I just remember first of the month.
I'll put it like this: we'll put it up there on the website,
on the
page, and you can check it out yourself. It's one of the fastest flows I've ever heard.
Is it a real offensive thing?
I want to say that there's a edited cut.
I won't make him laugh. Watch. Is it more offensive than boob dick?
Probably not.
Every time I want to be serious. That's it. I'm not laughing.
Sorry, my mic's like, you fucking asshole.
Why did he do that?
No, I mean, I'm not. I'm just saying it's more offensive than. That was like a factual scientific statement,
No, actually, no.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Depends on who's listening.
Yeah.
They didn't have boob dicks back then. I didn't know of any.
They had boob pecs. It's like,
I'm sorry.
Man, so anyways, we're just going to talk about another song, right?
Sorry. Yeah, so we all been hearing this viral song. I'm going to try to say it again. Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I said it right.
That's what we're talking
about. There you
go.
Yeah. And so it's by the redheaded guy. His name is Oliver Anthony. He's 31-year-old dude. That's kind of a recovering alcoholic type fella. Him and his lady were living in a camper they own on a piece of property. And he started making music and writing songs just a couple years ago. And he's the first person in the history to ever have a #1 charting song ever without any recording history.
Right.
And pretty amazing. But the song, it's controversial to some. And to me, let me just kind of give everybody an idea of what it's about. It's about a guy singing. Were you going to play a few seconds of it?
No, I wasn't going to play it, but if I can, keep talking.
No. So it's about a song where a guy is pretty much a working class kind of guy. He's really upset with the government, the politicians, all these rich people. He's kind of talking like from a point of view of a victim, right? Like he's a victim of society, a victim. I mean, it's what it comes across as. Whereas society's not giving him a break, is not really helping the working man, let's call it the middle to lower class man, and shit pay over, long hours, things of that kind of nature. Yeah. So and it really connected to a lot of people. I mean, this thing has had hundreds of millions of views. He's been on all the talk shows. So it really resonates to a lot of, yeah, go ahead.
I think that's all I can play. I don't know.
So, I have an opinion I'll get into, but I'm more interested to hear what you guys have to say after understanding. We know what the song is. We understand, who its demographic, who's relating to it. Do you guys relate to it? Do you find it offensive, or do you find it just full of shit? I mean, what's your thoughts?
Okay, I'll tell you what I think about this song. I wanted to like this song. I really did. It was almost there. I genuinely wanted to like this song. I mean, you know me. Anything that shits on the government, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I mean, this song, he was there. He was focused. I mean, he was so close to hitting a home run and knocking it clean out of the park.
Okay.
And then he just swung, missed the ball completely, spun around, bopped himself on the head. I mean, this song totally jumped the tracks. It's impressive to me how you can start out so right and then end up so wrong. Because you named the song Richmond, North of Richmond. And then you go on and you start kicking the shit out of poor people. Come on, man. I wasn't feeling that. The obese, milk and welfare. If you're 300 pounds, my taxes shouldn't be paying for your bag of fudge. I mean, seriously.
Oh, fuck. Sorry hearing you say it. I'm not laughing at obese people, but damn, that's a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
But seriously, I mean, you're worried about Fat Susie and her fudge rounds? No, I'm worried about legendary Hall of Fame quarterbacks that are using that money that should be going to poor people to buy stadiums for their daughter. Okay, I'm worried about real corruption. Okay, I'm worried about how Walmart is the biggest employer in the country, yet 80% of their workforce is on government programs. I mean, and I know some people are going to look at me like, hey, I thought you were a libertarian. Why are you defending welfare? Well, let me tell you why. Because you could take welfare away tomorrow, and Uncle Sam is still going to stick his dick and balls in your paycheck. Period. Taxation, man. You know, libertarians are always, taxation is theft, taxation is theft. Yeah, but taxation is also inevitable. And it's going to happen. I mean, no matter what, you're not going to be able to vote out taxation. You're going to have to spill some blood to make that happen.
Yeah.
So I worry, if my tax dollars are going to be taken away anyway, I want to see it helping Americans because I've seen this system help Americans.
Yeah.
You know, and I just felt like, you know, when he started going in on the fat people on welfare, that's where he missed the point completely. It should be about government corruption, embezzlement, sending all of our fucking money to all these countries so they can have programs that they tell us we can't have. All the millions of dollars that we give to European countries where they do have free college, and then you tell us we can't do it. I mean, the money's there. We just don't want to. I mean, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it.
Mike doesn't like that.
Man, we're going to keep doing shows in the evening. We got Mike lit.
Mike is lit.
Yeah.
Fuck this dude.
Shit.
No, I'm not saying.
Until he talked about fat people on welfare. That's where Mike got offended.
Dude.
I'm not saying fuck the dude. I'm saying he was so close and then he missed the mark. And I feel like a lot of people in America are that exact same way. We're real close to seeing what's really going on, to really understanding who's doing the fucking in this relationship.
Yeah.
But then we turn right around and turn into the culture war and we start blaming other regular people that are struggling just like us, man.
All right.
And that's the part I just can't get on board with.
I kind of disagree and I kind of agree. The man was on point, but when he said what he said, I don't think he's blaming the fat people on welfare or the people. I think he's still blaming the government, but he's just naming things that the government allows that he disagrees with. And that's like a thin line because I've been on both sides and I've had family on both sides, but it is true that a lot of people that are getting assistance and money, it's not I don't think the fact that they're getting it is the issue. I think that it's like the people are not educated on how to spend it. You give I've even had this discussion with people. You give a woman, let's say food stamps, or a man, it doesn't matter, for them and their children. But when they get them, they don't know how to manage them. You know what I mean? So you do see them going to the convenience store, spending triple and quadruple the dollar amount for a candy bar, which is really not going to feed their child.
Right.
When they should be educated on how to fix appropriate meals.
Yeah.
Meals that are healthy, meals that are going to last. And so I don't necessarily think that the people themselves are the blame, but I do believe that if the government is giving assistance and giving things, we should educate the people. Because it's not necessarily the money, it's the people not being educated that are getting the money.
Yeah.
If you give me $1 million and I'm not educated, I can be broke tomorrow.
That's true.
Or you could give me 100,000 and tomorrow I could have $1 million.
That's right.
It's all about what how you spend. So.
Well, that's a good insight. My opinion on it, I think he's a victim. And I know a lot of you two probably won't agree with me very much here. You might. But look, bullshit hours, bullshit pay, then fucking do something about it. Quit fucking singing about it. Get up off your fucking ass and start a business.
Well, shit, singing about it seems to work for him.
No, it did.
He made plenty of money.
It did, right. No, it did. He did do something. That's great. So preach that.
Yeah.
Bullshit hours, bullshit pay, go and get up off your ass and do something today. Oh, that shit ain't in this song.
Yeah.
See, that's what I would say. Because my thing is like, I hear what he's saying, the rich men, this, that, and the other shit. And I know he predominantly he's talking about the politicians. I get it.
Yeah. The people in D.C.
For the most part. But he's also talking about being a victim. And that's the problem with a lot of people in the country is their fucking victim mentality. It's like, be a winner. Wake up. And I know it sounds crazy, but wake up.
It doesn't sound crazy.
And do something with yourself. Don't sit there and sulk. And it's hard. And I know it's hard because I suffer from depression. I suffer from anxieties. I don't come from money, yada, yada. Y'all know that. Y'all know we're all same neighborhood and all. But my point is, do something about it. Not everyone can. But if you can, do something about it. And don't just feel like you're always a victim. That's my main issue with that particular song is the victim mentality. That's my position.
Yeah, and I disagree with that. I don't think that's a victim mentality. I think it's just letting off your frustration, being angry. People are being fucked, and someone does need to speak up and say something about it. I don't get that vibe that he feels like a victim. I get that vibe that he's pissed off, and he wants to put it out there.
Okay, but what is he mad about? How's he be taken advantage of? Because he decided to work for someone else?
I don't believe he's just
I'm
talking about just him. I think he's just talking about the system overall and the American people as a whole. You see, the America is designed this way. Like, and you make valid points, JB. Yeah. And I'm not really gonna just debate what you're saying.
No, it's all right.
But we do have to admit that our country, it's set up. Even if you look on the back of our dollar bill, everyone knows this. You see a big wide pyramid. And the wide base is at the bottom, which represents there's way more people at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And the weight of a pyramid, it's all on the bottom. Mm-hmm. So if we had people really being successful, our government wouldn't even exist. Mm-hmm. Our government is based on a whole lot of people at the bottom carrying the burdens and the weight of a few people at the top. Now, are you right? Yeah, you're right. You should do something about it. You can just. But it's not even designed for that. Like the people who are successful are, I'm not going to say the exact percentage, but let's just say 5%. Mm-hmm. I'll say 5%. No, I'm going to say 15%. Mm-hmm. That's it. That our country is even designed, even from the day that they decided to do this, it was planned this way. Yeah, you're almost building what I'm talking about.
Well, no, I'm just thinking.
And you see the little eye at the top watching down all the people on the bottom. Yeah, you look on the back of a dollar sign. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But it was never designed for people to be.
I disagree wholeheartedly. Okay, yeah. Let me tell you why. And then I know Mike wants to jump in.
Go ahead. No.
Here's why. This country's free enterprise. We do have the rights today to start a business or to go out and do something to make a change in your life. The reality of it is, do you know what the difference is between the guy that makes $1 million a year and the guy that makes 20 grand a year? Do you know what the one single difference is?
Discipline?
No.
What?
The guy that's doing $1 million a year is doing what the other fuckers aren't doing. That's the difference. So what needs to happen is you got to change the way you think. And believe me, I lived in that base pyramid mentality. I was born and raised into that. And I was lucky enough, perhaps, and driven enough and wired a certain way where I was able to realize, you know what? I don't have to be that way. I can do and make a change. And I know it sounds crazy, but when you decide to change the way you think and you quit thinking like bullshit hours and bullshit pay instead of that and think, you know what? I'll work those bullshit hours and bullshit pay 9 to 5. But that 5 to fucking midnight or 2 midnight old shit, I'm going to work and I'm going to grab books. I'm going to study the piss out of finance. I'm going to take my first $10, $20. I'm going to go open up a E-Trade, Scott Trade fucking Robinhood account. And I'm going to start investing it and making money and start momentumizing success.
No, that sounds good.
That's what the reality is. That's why the top echelon.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Because you speak about this all the time.
Sure.
Let's just take your family, your closest family, like your mom, dad,
immediate
your sisters,
family,
immediate family.
Yeah.
Brothers, sisters, closest people.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing compared to what you're doing?
I don't know what you mean.
As far as success, like when you speak of all these things you do.
They're working class people.
There you go.
My mom's a lunch lady.
But listen to my point. Yeah, that's where I'm about to get at.
Yeah.
My point is, there's a few people, but if it was designed this way, your sister would be the same way. Your brother. I'm not saying that you have a sister or brother, but
I do.
Whoever. I know.
Jennifer.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
No,
I'm saying in general, not yours.
Yeah.
They would be in the same situation. So I think it's pretty fair for me to say, or if we look at statistically, you're one person out of your whole immediate family. So it's not designed for people to make it like that. Yeah, you're going to get some people who are going to slip through the cracks and they're going to do some extra stuff. And as you say, you're going to get lucky. But the reality is the majority of this country is in the situation of this man.
Because they think like him.
I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I will say a lot of people, but some of the things that he's saying, there are wealthy people at the top, and it's by design for others to stay at the bottom. Even if you don't start a business, even if you work, you shouldn't have to pay $5 for a loaf of bread. You should, and he's right. Some of this is due to feeding the fat people that are just eating candy bars, and that's not right. I think this man is naming all the things that he can think of that contribute to this. But I think we're all like kind of in a different position. But I think we have to all admit that by design, what this man is saying is right on.
See, I disagree, but I want to hear Mike's
opinion. That the government is full of shit.
They are full of shit. Just because you made
and that the government does fuck the working class.
We're talking about two different things, though. So
we're talking about the song.
And I want to hear, you're going to keep talking, Mike, but I just want to make sure I'm clear on my point. I'm talking about the free enterprise design.
Understand?
I do agree government gets involved in a shitty way. So, but go ahead, Mike.
The government prevents free enterprise for a lot of people.
I'm on board there.
It is literally the problem. And that's the part where I disagree with the song on, is that I felt like, he pointed to a lot of things. Like 99% of it was right on the money. But he missed that one part so bad that I can't get on board.
Because he talked about fat people?
Yeah, fat people on welfare. And I just...
So what if they were skinny people on welfare, or if they were fat people and weren't on welfare?
Mike, why does that hit on you so hard? Do you mind opening up a little more?
Why? Yeah. Because it's not their fault. His situation is not their fault. Period.
They're eating candy and junk food.
Gives a fuck if they're eating candy and junk food. I mean, okay, yeah, they got fat, but if I recall, he's not a small man himself. But that's beside the point. The point that I'm trying to make is that when he kind of comes down on those people like they're part of the problem in his situation, it's just not the case.
Do you think that there might be the case?
I believe it is.
Mm-hmm. You think there might be the case that there are obese people that really could go out and get a job, but for some reason choose to claim disability and ride the government?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, those people do exist.
No,
I mean, but let's not dismiss the fact that most people who are on welfare have jobs.
But do you think maybe he's referencing those people? Or do you think it's a blanket statement of all fat people, or so to speak? Well, I don't know.
I don't agree with that most people on welfare have jobs. Maybe to get food stamps, but welfare? No. I don't believe most people.
Maybe if you're talking about the people who are on all of welfare, the programs.
Like welfare, but yeah.
But there are a lot of people that are on government programs that are working hard, and they just aren't making enough money to completely support themselves. And look, there are issues with that system.
Yeah.
And and there are people who take advantage of it.
That's where I think that.
But for the most part, people aren't. People that have been, I know lots of people, most of my friends tell me about how they grew up eating government cheese. They got the food stamps when they were actual stamps and all of that. And then they grew up to, make pretty decent money for themselves, make a pretty decent situation.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely. There are going to be some people that are on welfare that are doing drugs and eating their fudge rounds and shit. But then there are other people that are going to bounce back and become very successful in life.
But as a song, I think he's just mentioning all the things. I don't think he's saying that everybody's doing this. Just like everyone in the government may not be corrupt, and maybe they are, but when he's saying this, just because
they all are.
But see, I disagree with. I'm not. You could be right, but I'm saying I don't think that it's fair for you to say all of them are. But then when he talks about these people who you're kind of more in favor of, then he's wrong for saying what he's saying. I don't think the song basically is saying everybody. I think the man is just identifying all the different problems that we have, and he's complaining about all the problems that do exist. Not saying that everybody that's fat on welfare is the problem, but the fact that the government, it does take a lot of money from people. No, I'm being honest. I know because the reason why I work with children, and like I mentor kids, and a lot of kids, you got to take them home or do this. This is in the past, and like you see how they live, and a lot of these people that get these food stamps, these mothers they're not doing what's appropriate with them, and so when he's bringing that up, I don't think that he's wrong in saying that because there's at least, one person or 10 people or 20 people that are doing that. Now, if we get technical to like exactly how many far as percentage, if it's the majority or not, no, we'll never know that answer. But the man's not saying that. He's just identifying all the issues. Yeah. That is definitely an issue. We gotta admit, Mike, that is an issue.
Oh, I'm not
saying
issue. That it's not an issue. I'm just saying that how does that affect his situation,
Easy. Tax dollars that he spends,
but the tax dollars are going to bullshit anyway.
It's still that he's naming all the things. But he's naming all the things. You asked a question. You said, "How does that affect him?" I'm telling you how it affects him, because food is not free. That's what everybody thinks.
Oh yeah.
When we get food stamps or any of that stuff, it's not free. We think it's free. It's costing somebody. When you take government programs, and what they do is they tax the rich at a higher percentage. So the rich have to pay more taxes, a higher percentage of taxes on their money. Well, what happens is rich people own everything, and they're not going to lose. That's why they're rich. So if you tax, let's just call him the rich man, and we tax him higher so that I can get some free shit, so I can sit on my ass. And you're working every day. He's in charge of your electric bill. He's in charge of your chicken that you buy, all your groceries, your gas. So I'm getting it for free. So what he does is he raises the price. Now you pay more for it. And you're going to the grocery store paying $10 for a freaking 5 pieces of chicken or 2 pieces of chicken, and you're watching me get it for free. That's what he's singing about. That's what I think he's singing about.
Okay,
it's a good point.
See that.
I mean, it does happen.
Point. Real good point.
Yeah. Because nothing's free.
Yeah. No, I echo everything
you think it's free. Yeah. And I agree that, even I've gotten assistance where everybody should get assistance for 6 months, or if they go, but living off of it is. And I'm not blaming the people, and I don't think he's blaming the people. I think he's blaming the government that allows these things.
Okay, here's the thing.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I heard.
I'm not going to trip if a poor American is getting free food and
me neither. I don't.
It's coming out of my pocket, okay? I'm worried about the people that are getting guns and missiles and rockets and billions of dollars worth of weapons for free.
I agree. I understand that.
Well, you're talking about government corruption,
Oh yeah, I am talking about government corruption.
Yeah, well, it does, and there's so many points the guy makes, and we talk about government, and it's interesting because hearing you guys talk, I learn more about how you think in general by what part of that song really means the most to you. Man,
I thought the whole song was just like sounds like a white guy trying to steal a black man's life. That's what I really felt. Oh, you want to complain, motherfucker? Try being black. That's how I really felt.
Shit.
That's what I really felt like.
You should write the sequel from a black man.
You're a redheaded. You can go to the bank and get loans.
I think that song's already been written though.
Yeah, I don't know. Redhead. I
think so. I think there's already a black version of that
song. I always look at
black men north of white settlement.
I always think of redheads as being like Scottish or Irish or something. Yeah, they can go get all kinds of shit, man. Like I wanted to say, shut the fuck up, bro. Try being us. But that's how I really felt. Yeah, you don't have nothing to complain about. The government will go give him a loan. He can go to the bank and get a loan. It automatically has an X by my name. Like my credit score has to be 850, or they're going to say no.
Yeah, you can get a loan. You just have to buy a house first.
Yeah, no, they'll give you a loan for a car. One thing, like a young black male I'm gonna say under 25, he's not going to get like too likely to get a business loan. They'll give him a loan for a Cadillac or something that he's going to go fuck off, and it's not going to be worth a lot of money later. But something that's really going to better him, because the people in control of the banks, they're not going to do that. So, I don't think that guy has it bad. He just has to go talk to one of his brothers or something. He'll be good.
Yeah, And just to go back a little bit to what I was saying, you know, my only real issue is that it come across like, you know, he's kind of blaming poorer people for the things that the rich people are doing. And yeah, I understand. And I agree that there are issues with the welfare government assistance system and that there probably should be some reform. But there's a whole bunch of other government programs and agencies that desperately need reform, consolidation.
No, that's true.
Some of them need to be done away with outright, especially government programs that are sentient. And what I mean when I say that is a government program that becomes aware that it was created to solve one problem, and it also understands that its own existence is dependent on that problem existing, and therefore it never solves the problem.
Yeah, that's almost everything.
And we have a lot of that shit. Like
that's almost everything. It's even religions. That's everybody. Like, who would these guys preach to? If you preach to the deaf, dumb, and blind, as you say,
yeah,
and then everybody became able to hear, nobody was blind and nobody was dumb, who the fuck are you going to talk to? Nobody.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to heal you. If everybody that was overweight and obese became, you know, whatever they want to be, who's the doctor going to give Slim Fast to? But who's going to get Jenny Craig? I mean, nobody's going to buy it.
You're going to get blacklisted. Watch it.
I don't need that shit no more.
And add another functional example, like the homelessness problem in L.A.
Yeah.
They spend millions and millions of dollars to solve homelessness in L.A., and there's still piles of homeless people.
No, that's true. But
and the reason why is because if you ever did solve homelessness, there are people in these agencies that are making six figures. There are people making tons of money.
I get it.
Supposed to be solving a problem, but as soon as they solve that problem, the money stops coming. And that's why a lot of shit never gets fixed.
Yeah, jobs are the same way. Like, supervisors and managers of a lot of companies, they don't need them. They're just sitting around. They need you to do something wrong, or they wouldn't have a job if they didn't point out what you're doing wrong.
Yeah,
that's true. But he's not. All I'm saying to you is I don't feel like he's blaming it on the people. First of all, the song itself, Richmond, north of Richmond. So he's talking about the rich men in D.C. So that's automatic. He's automatically saying who the issue. The problem is who he's blaming. But I think in the song, he's just pointing out all the different issues. I don't think he's blaming those people. I think he's blaming the government. And he just mentioned one group, a thing that you didn't like.
Yeah.
Like somebody's probably upset about you just mentioning the homelessness thing program. Because that motherfucker, no, you fucking with my money now. Now he's calling you a fat motherfucker that eats candy.
But I want to kind of get into another line. That's in this song, the one where he's talking about the miners and not some miners on the island somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I think the government does need to give a fuck about these miners on the island somewhere because I still want to know who's on that fucking guest list.
Are you talking about like when they're messing with the kids and crap?
Yeah,
the
pedophiles.
Yeah, they're doing that. That's America.
You know, like if we had a functional government, there would be people in jail right now, but nobody.
You know what bothers me is human trafficking. You damn well know that our law enforcement and government could control that shit without a doubt. And it's so rampant here that it really bothers me that we don't put enough focus. And then I do wonder, and maybe y'all have some opinions. I'm like, the fuck? Why wouldn't you focus on human trafficking? Legitimately put a stop to that shit other than... Well, that or they work along with these damn fucking organized crime units.
They do. I believe they do. Because it's mostly people from other countries anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure it happens to people here too, but it's more, you know, people coming in from Mexico, coming from Asia, coming from here. And so I think that's the reason why. They're getting money off of it, just like the slave trade.
And it's another problem where if you solve the problem, then a lot of jobs disappear. I mean, that's kind of what crime is, period.
Yeah.
But if you
nobody wants to get rid of crime. They just want to isolate it.
That's the same thing with anything. That's with disease, sickness. But if we got rid of that, where are you going to get a massage from?
Shit.
I just had to say something.
Shout out to Deshaun Watson.
That's where they
pay and spray units.
I guess it's the 18 and above thing that people probably are more concerned with, I guess, than the actual trafficking.
Yeah.
Because if you're getting your nails done, ladies, a lot of these people are still a victim of that.
Yeah.
Some of those women, they live in like a house all together and they have to go work all day. Like,
Yep.
It ain't what you think.
No, I've seen it actually.
If you get to kind of talking to them, they tell you certain things and you kind of can figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, damn, these the same shit going on at the nail shop.
No, there's a lot of fucked up shit, man, that happens before our own eyes that sometimes we're just oblivious to because we live in a country where, frankly, we as a country, we're all privileged as a whole country.
Oh, yeah, we are.
And we turn a blind eye to shit because we don't think it'll happen to us, but yet it's right underneath our own noses, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of times we're just too busy.
Yeah.
You know, we're too busy to deal with the problems that exist in this country. We're too busy to go to a website and read about presidential candidates. We need to be told who to vote for, most people in this country. Yeah. And that's why we get stuck with fucks like Joe Biden and Donald Trump time after time. I mean,
Trump.
I
am official black Trump supporter.
Okay. Truth be told, I hate Joe Biden more than I hate Donald Trump, but they both suck.
I like him.
Well, at least Donald Trump can remember your name.
Well, yeah, true.
Biden won't even know who the hell you are.
What is
Donald Trump never told me I'm not black.
Have you ever heard of the poor people in the Appalachian Mountains?
Yeah.
Misty asked that.
Yeah, the Appalachian, the poor people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's rampant up there. Yeah, the poor people. Have you ever seen Deliverance? That show. I
haven't seen it, but I just wanted to. She asked, so I was just asking.
Yeah, the Appalachians, man. That's known for inbreeding. So those Appalachian people are not only poor, but they're also
the same family.
Yeah.
The same, yeah.
And they kind of look like monkey-looking type people.
They do.
I saw that.
They have genetic
I saw something on television.
deformation. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
that's crazy.
They're very poor. But you know what about those people, I will say? Because I had an old company once where I had interest in West Virginia. And I went up there a lot. Believe it or not, those people in the Appalachians, number one, don't fucking go there unless they know you're there because they will kill your ass. They will fuck you up. And number two, they're happy. They're in their own damn island and their own world. Yeah, they're dirt ass poor. They don't give a shit. They don't. They like the way they live. They like, their sticks and bricks and, no running water. They love it.
They love it.
They do. And you know what? There's an old saying, and I don't mean it against these guys, but, ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, man. I mean, they live a simple life and they're happy.
Yeah, happy.
Who's
they
to
don't
say
know what they're missing out on.
But it's okay. They're happy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah. I mean, damn.
But a lot of people are like that. Even in other countries that we take over and, we go and we spread our way of life and our culture, the people are happy where they are. Our government makes us believe that these people over here are not happy or they're being deprived. They don't really feel that way.
Man, we could be homeless and get a $1 burger from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Think about it. You could be homeless and still eat Taco Bell. Someone will give you a few bucks. You can just walk over there, but you can't do that shit in like Ethiopia where, you can't, that shit's for real. I mean, it's desolate and shit. So it's just, I think our country.
Well, Ethiopia is not necessarily desolate. I mean, they do have wealthy communities.
Yeah, of course.
Now, look, if you're poor in Ethiopia, you're fucked.
What he's basically saying is in those other countries, they don't help you when you're down. Like we don't do that bad here. You're right.
No.
People will. Yeah, you can go. You can walk in the grocery store and just eat the food, and they know you're homeless. A lot of times they don't mess with you.
But you still
people give you change. All kinds of yeah.
No, I mean, now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
there's no hand-me-outs in those other countries. And if you're sick, like I have a lot of friends that preach just go back to Africa shit. Yeah. Man, their government's not doing shit for you. Like you think ours is bad? Like far as you got to have your own money. Like you catch the flu, you got to pay for that. There's nothing. If you're poor, you're gonna die. Now you might not catch the flu. I guess because you're not eating so unhealthy or whatever, but you're on your own.
Well, we'll say this, side note. You're right. But now in Kenya, East Africa, all that, they actually do have social health care where it's actually paid for. The problem is, to support your theory, is when you're really fucked up, if you don't have subsidy health care, you're in the low end of the list, and they'll get to you when they do or they don't.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest issue.
Same difference.
Yeah. No, it is.
It is. JPS.
JPS. Wow.
Hakuna Matata, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of the countries that you do get to be fat and eat fudge, I guess. And
look, we're changing him. He's like, well, I guess you're right, bro. Damn.
No, I mean, I don't know.
No, I get what he's saying though. I agree with him all the way. I believe, Mike, and I might be wrong. It feels like you're more feeling like he's blaming the people. And I don't think he's blaming the people. I just really feel like he's blaming the government. And he's pointing out everything. I think he's pointing out the shit you're talking about, too. He's pointing out it all. It's just that one part, I guess, Mike really doesn't like.
I don't know. I can never have a problem with helping less fortunate Americans, period.
I think, and I can. It depends on the reason. And I know we won't always know the reason, but we're all less fortunate than somebody.
Yeah.
So where do you draw the line is the question.
And,
the cause of it. No, and then the cause. A lot of times, and that's where I agree with you, Jeremy, is that sometimes when we're in certain situations, and I know what I do, I look at myself, like my decisions and things that that I made. Mm-hmm. And we can't always expect people to bail us out when some of our situations, it's things that we choices we made.
Yeah, we do create our own destiny at the end of the day.
Yeah, a lot of times we do. And so where do you draw a line that you have compassion for someone? I don't know about the Krayzie Bone situation. So you just told me something that I didn't know. But originally I thought that it was something, I wasn't educated on the situation, and I thought it was something due to his marijuana smoking that messed with his lungs. And so I would have no pity for him because as a man, we choose what we want to do. You know what I mean? The doctor tells you, hey, you need to stop drinking, Jabari. It's bad for your liver. If I keep drinking and I die from some liver issue, man, don't y'all cry for me. Just drink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Either drink and celebrate or stop drinking. One or the other. But it's hard for me I feel like men, sometimes with women and children, I may feel a little different, but I feel like we make choices on a lot of things and we're in control of our situation.
Yeah, and I have to
on a lot of things.
Also agree with Jeremy on what he was talking about earlier about the victim mentality and about getting up and doing something about your situation.
Yeah.
And I do agree with all of that, but I felt like, you can still be frustrated about your situation.
Sure.
And the things that he was talking about, they are true. And it's okay to be pissed about it. Well, okay.
Mike's changing his. Have you been watching the show, listening since the beginning? Mike just, what Mike reminds me of? Some of these women out here. I think he heard something that he didn't like, and he just blew up. And now he's going back thinking about it.
Well,
it's like
no. I'm still fine with paying. Look, I'm still fine with paying for Fat Susie's bonbons. I'm still down to support that. And and truthfully though, there are people who take advantage of the system.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like, there's a lot of people who got help from the system, and like I said, they turned their lives around. And and some of them had kids that ended up being gangbangers, but some have kids that ended up becoming doctors or veterinarians.
Yeah, that's all good.
I
say get what you can get. You know what I mean? Just don't complain. Don't complain. But if you can get over, get over. That's what Trump taught us. If you can get over, if you can get food stamps, I'm gonna do it. Oh, fuck it. Get what you can get.
But there's also, there's a huge rippling effect from all this government assistance, all of these employer bailouts that's happened through COVID. And it's gotten so bad, we're at the tail end of it now, where the labor force has pretty much stopped. And what's crazy is, they were getting paid more money not working.
Oh, yeah, there were some people like that.
Oh, tons.
Yeah, tons. Yeah, way more.
And now that it's all been cut off, they're back in the labor force again. But what that shows us and what it proves to us is, okay, you can give money to people. We call it socialism in a way, right? You can give money to people and you can support them. The people that don't think about change, the people that have them victim mentalities, are still a fucking victim when they have money.
Right, you're right. That's why I said what I said earlier. When I said giving people, whether it's food stamps, rent, it don't matter what it is.
They're broke.
If you don't educate the people or some type of way they have to get educated. And I can speak on this because I see it in my daily life with people that I know all the time. And it's sad, but it's just what it is. So you're right. It's not all the government. It's some is the people, but in certain situations it's the government too. But then again, we spoke about education before, and I've already told you the educational system is fucked up. It depends on where you live, your zip code. Why do you think you met me? You met me only because my parents knew in this area the education was not good, and my parents chose to take 3 kids and sleep in the same bedroom so they can get enough money for us to go live over here so that our kids can be better educated because they knew that over here it wasn't good enough. But everybody wasn't able to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you draw the line. You get what I mean? Like, you can say, oh, yeah, well, you could have took it upon yourself to go do this. But when you don't even know you're fucked up, like, think about that. It's just like if you lived around all fat people.
Well,
since we brought up fat, everybody's fat. You're not going to really know you're fat. You're just going to think it's normal. Now, when you go somewhere, you land in a gym one day, and now you know, you get what I'm saying?
Well, see, it's about, let me just make this point, too. You're right. But it's not necessarily education as it is. I don't disagree with anything you just said.
Yeah.
Accountability. We used to be a society that was allowed to hold our fellow neighbor accountable.
I agree with that.
We can't do that now.
Yeah,
I can't tell you, not that you are, but arbitrarily. I can't say, you know what, you're a lazy motherfucker. You need to quit, running around or, not mowing your lawn, not working.
Drinking and doing karaoke.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, but you know what I mean. But I mean, like, I'm saying, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah,
it's harassment. It's horrible. It's all these things. Well, we can't keep each other accountable anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we see the people that have the fortitude to keep people accountable, like you, like I'm sure Mike would be, we can't do it.
Yeah, you're right.
We're not allowed to say anything.
I agree.
That's what fucks shit up, in my opinion.
I think Paul Cooper asked, how about kids' lunches in K through 12? I'm not sure exactly what the question is. I guess he's asking if we think that kids should have free lunch in school.
I think so. I think that, let's see what
the education is free. Why not the lunch be free?
Yeah, I think so. I think, because here's the thing. I think that we should take care of our kids. We should give them a good meal and take care of it, because it's really ultimately not as expensive as funding shit that is more erroneous than nutrition.
You're right, right.
You know what I mean? I mean, I would definitely put that and rank that up very top, because that's nutritional education. When you sit down, and back like we used to do, right? You have a tray and you have milk or an apple, or just, you had all your basic
fruit, a vegetable, and meat.
Yeah. We're educated for that. You minimize.
Right.
And for a lot of kids, that might be the only complete nutritious meal they get all day.
Well, let me just say this: the school's food in Fort Worth sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, it does. I'm talking about it's no good. So, I mean, I think we should improve it too. But yeah. I don't see anything wrong with free.
Okay, do they still have the square pizzas though?
I think they've done away with that.
That was a cracker with cheese. We didn't even know. Dude, that was a big old cracker with cheese and ketchup.
Oh my God, those were good.
Yeah, they were.
Like if I could find the recipe for that shit, I would make it all the time.
Let's get a party pizza. I don't think they'll taste good to you now. A lot of stuff that was good as kids, we eat it now. It's not gonna. It's like
there's one thing I think we'd all agree on: the way they used to make the rolls back in the old days. The old school days, they made the dough and they made them. Remember? They don't do that now. Now they have like the pre-frozen rolls and shit. Back when we were going to school, they had real rolls. That shit was good, dude.
Yeah, I don't eat much bread, so I didn't know. I know the bread at yeah.
Shit, back then I was like 150.
The bread at Saltgrass is good as fuck.
That was Saltgrass.
That's the only place Saltgrass.
Well, do you guys have any final thoughts of this? I know we're getting kind of close to the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Before we go, Misty says we can buy those pizzas online, so I may check it out.
Yeah, go for it.
And then he asks, if the government requires them to go to school, then they should feed them.
I
think that's a pretty damn good point.
Yeah, I agree.
I think kids should be fed because
you get fed in jail.
Well, that.
And it's the same food.
But, I mean, they're kids, right? It's the same food.
It really is.
Damn. Minus the fucking razor blades and files. But, no, I think I'd agree with that. Kids should definitely get free lunches.
See, that's something we all agree on. That's good.
Hey. Yeah. So we ended up on the same page.
Well, you don't all agree, however. It's okay for fat people to eat bonbons and fucking riding off the government.
Man.
Yeah.
I'll just screw it with you,
we're
man.
We're not going to get on the same.
We're just having fun. That's all.
I think we agree. It's just that I think Mike doesn't think that's the big issue to talk about.
No, it was, I get it.
Yeah, that's really what it was for me. It's like there's a whole bunch of worse things that the government's doing than, giving Fat Susie her fudge rounds. I mean, there's a lot of other issues that I felt like I said, it was close. It was close. It was so close to me loving this song. All he had to do was just hit a couple of real points about the corruption, the embezzlement, insider trading, all that other shit. If he had hit those notes, I'd be all for it.
Yeah. I never even listened to the song until they said we were going to speak about it. And I just listened to it, and I just felt like, dang, you should have been black. That's all I was thinking.
Man. Well, yeah.
Well, that's an interesting comment. Hold up. What about Yvonne? She says something I enjoy.
She said, unless you're personally buying people food, don't worry about what they buy with their food stamps.
Yeah, right. Unless people are personally buying. Yeah. She says, mind your own damn business what they buy with their food.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I kind of get that.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, we should mind our own business about everything, what the government does with the money, because we are buying it.
Now y'all seeing it my way.
We are buying it. Like we're all. That's what I think the point is. We are buying it. It's with tactiles. Well, I don't care though that they get them. I think it's all cool.
I kind of agree with Yvonne. Really, I mean, at the end of the day, as long as it's food, who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let Fat Susie have her fudge rounds.
I think it's just that. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just think people should be educated about things more. If like you give them, teach people about healthy meals, and that's what we really need. People really just need to be taught things. There should be more classes and seminars, and I think if they did things like that, a lot of the issues that we have, we wouldn't even have. But a lot of people just don't know. Yeah. And it's kind of hard to, like it's different for us because we're like initiators, we're go-getters. Yeah. We would never be these people, even if I know things my parents never taught me because I wanted to know so much. But everybody doesn't have that drive, and so I would have a program if I was me for people to get these things. There would be certain things I would educate them on that I think would help them in situations like this. But, that'll never happen. So just keep letting them buy their buns.
I mean, and I have to agree 100% what you've been saying this whole time about education. A lot of the people that are on the system that are trying to get off, they're not getting, the right education. And when it comes to eating healthy, a big thing with that is it's cheaper to eat unhealthy.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to eat unhealthy. Yeah, because
there's plenty of food, even without pesticides on it. You just may not want to pay for it. Yeah, there's plenty. Well, there's a lot more that doesn't, but people probably don't want to pay for that shit.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's crazy. Well, my final thought on the whole thing is this, and is that I'm okay with someone being frustrated. I'm okay with venting. I definitely agree with the whole government scenarios and the corruptions and the politicians. The only issue I have, the only one, is all the bullshit hours, the work and the pay and all that shit. That's the only thing that rubs me because it is out there. But I do think if you change the way you think, that you can get out of that and do better shit.
I agree.
That's the part of the song that I have. What about you, Mike?
My closing thing is that he's not black. So he don't understand shit. Like he's complaining about some
shit.
An
albino, dude. They'll fool you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think
just throwing it out there.
As a black, I think what he's complaining about ain't shit, man. Like you don't think about all this plus just because you're black, bro. Like that's it. Just because of that, nothing else. And then you still got to deal with all this other shit.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I think this song should have been written by a black man.
and I really do think there was a version of this song out there. I'll have to take a look, but if I find it, then I'll post it up on the page so everyone can check it out. My final thought is, hey, go Fat Susie. Eat them fudge rounds. Look, there is one last thing that I wanted to get into when he talks about bullshit work, bullshit pay, and people, like I said, 80% of Walmart's workforce has to have government assistance. And we have all these adults that are working at places like fast food and shit like that. And they're wanting $15 an hour. And, that's a topic for a whole other day. But if you really want to get into a lot of that shit, you can go back to NAFTA. You can go back to Bill Clinton sending all of the manufacturing jobs overseas, you know? Yeah. That's what those people could have been doing.
I hate that shit. I'm sorry.
That's a whole other show.
I can't stand when I push English and somebody's, thank you for calling AT&T. This is me, Bob. Help me help you. Motherfucker, I said English. I hate that shit. Oh, God.
Or when they can't speak English, but their name is Mike Jones, I'm like, motherfucker ain't no Mike Jones.
But you won't hire a brother that speaks just a little bit improper English. Yeah. That's why I say it's fucked up, man.
Yeah, you know.
Y'all don't know what fucked up is till you got skin my color.
And sending those jobs away, I mean, those were the type of jobs for people who, you know, don't have much of an education. You know, they might have dropped out of school. They might just not be the brightest person around. I mean, they could have been working in those factories, making money and making a living for themselves, and then they could buy their own bonbons.
But it's about money, man. Those people that you're talking about, they're paying them like $1 a day compared to, you know, I'm not be $1 a day, but let's say $10 a day versus $10 or $15 an hour. Like, that's the difference. I can't really blame people that are in charge and control. You just gotta figure out where you want to be on the food chain. You know, it's really what it is. Like, you can't. If it's their country, it's their world.
Next show, where you at on the food chain?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You close it out, Mike?
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. If you like what we're doing, go and subscribe and give us a 5-star review. If you don't like what we're doing, still give us a 5-star review. We won't tell nobody.
And fuck off.
So check us out. We are on Spotify. We're on every podcast platform out there. We are on YouTube, and sometimes if you're lucky, you just might catch us on Facebook Live.
Man, I got to answer something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
She said minimum wage should go to $15 an hour, and I just want to say this to Yvonne because she's very opinionated. I like her, but if minimum wage goes to $15 an hour, Yvonne, everything's just going to go up. Like, that's what I just wish people could understand that.
So I have experience with this.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, here's the thing.
You're going to raise minimum wage up. Okay, cool. Raise it up. Now your electric bill's going to go up. Well, now your car notes, everything's going to go up.
The problem here is, though, everything went up anyway, and they didn't raise minimum wage.
Shit. It's going to go up because they raised it. They raised the minimum wage first a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then you see the effects. I mean, you can do it. All I'm just trying to say is that don't be fooled by shit like that.
Minimum wage is synonymous with minimum skill. So if you want more money, learn more shit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And last thing I'll say is I have a chain of coffee shops in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For real?
For real.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that.
Well, fine.
Just play it.
I thought you did. Well, no, I'm trying to tell you. Well, the thing is, minimum wage in New York is $15 an hour.
Right. But
and
the cost of living is.
Well, the cost of living is higher, but all over New York, though, even where it isn't this high, like in the north upstate, as they call it. But my point is what Missy said is exactly what happens. Everything goes up.
That's what I said.
Everything gets inflated. When you inflate minimum wage and everything goes
up.
Like
now, everything's going up here.
What people need to worry about is increasing their skill set.
Yeah, that's what I say. I call it education, but same thing.
Yeah, straight up.
All right, guys. All right. Until next time, next Thursday night. We are on Thursdays now live. So we'll see you then. Bye.
Good.